Okay, so what I want to do right now is take a closer look at how we can go about editing the formatting within our CSS. So editing the CSS within our CSS. We begin with the CSS styles, and what I'm looking at right here is called About Text. And I can see these are all of my rules right in here, and I have this font style on oblique. I want to get rid of that actually. Let's actually look at some of the things that I did with this font style. All right, so if I was to put the line height at 0, that's what it looks like. Whoa, that looks crazy. Probably it's more at about 10. So we can see what we can do as we start playing around with the line height. Okay, and I had it set at 32, and what that is, it has to do with the space in between our lines. Actually, I think I like it a little bit less. Let's go to 28. Apply. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to change this font to normal. All right, and I have a font color, and I actually think what I want to do is I want to actually match this brown. All right, and that brown, don't think that brown's going to show up. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a darker brown. There we go. All right, let's see if this works. Apply. Okay. Let's preview it. There's nothing like previewing it to see what it actually looks like. All right, so here we have it, the Pea Seedlings project. Okay, now let's say though, this is kind of boring. Probably needs an image or something. It's just kind of boring. So what could we do? How could we make this stand out a little bit more? We have our colors. Okay, so what we could do is actually we could come in and even edit some of the words within here. So what I want to do right now is come in and make some words stand out a little bit more. And maybe what I want to do is actually come on in over here and take a look at what the color was, and I forget what the number was, but maybe what I want to do is come on in and get that bluish color and put that even throughout the image that I'm doing right here, and the number is 099. Okay. All right. The Peace Healing Project is an attempt to cultivate peace through art and words. All right, so I'm going to take this image right here, cultivate peace through art and words. Now, what I can do is when I come on to the properties panel, whatever I have highlighted, I could actually come in and I could change this color. But look what happens if I come in and go to change it up. It's saying to you, it's giving you best practice. It's saying, oh, you should make a new CSS rule. And it will be a CSS rule just for this image right here. But I'm not going to do that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and do an inline style. Okay, so when I come to new inline style, what this does is it's going to change the font right in the body without creating a CSS rule. So what that means then, I'm going to make this bigger too, is that it's not going to move with it. Okay, so what do I mean here? Well, it means that this inline style is not attached to the external CSS sheet. So when I apply it to another page, there's no rule, but it's a way to go through and change some things around quickly. Now, what happens is the inline style actually overrides the CSS. All right, so let's do a little bit more and see what happens here. I can highlight this, let's go over it one more time, and I can change this around up right here. But if I don't put inline style, it will always do a new CSS rule. But again, this is a quick way to just change a couple things around nice and quickly. All right, so I'm going to change the color here. I can say 099, click. All right, let's just preview this and see what it looks like. Preview in Firefox, save. All right, so we could see what we could do is we could come in and create some bit more visual hierarchy, change some things around, work a little bit with color. And actually, as I look at this too, I kind of like this idea, the Pea Seedlings project, beginning this right here, changing the color around. Up again, I keep forgetting to go new inline style. Okay, coming in to 18. and I can change this around. Okay, so again, this is a quick way if we want to change something within our CSS without going in and adding a rule just quickly. So we're not locked into everything being the exact same. We can have couple different things happening with our type within within a whole box. Okay, because again, I set the rules for this div tag in the about text box. Okay, so if I take a look at this, I'm just reviewing right now. If you feel like you understand, you can end watching the video right here, but just to review, if I come in, all of the info about my type is right in here. So what I can do is by creating an inline style, I can override that. Now, but let's just look at one more thing. Let's say I wanted to then take this portion of this and add a whole rule to this. Well, I could do another CSS rule and just change that portion also. Thanks for listening. I will end it there with inline styles and editing our CSS.